Hello, Sergio. It's great to have you back to talk about our new reservations area, which looks amazing, by the way. Yeah, so I guess the first question I have for you today, could you tell us a little bit about the new reservations area and why, specifically why it was developed for hotels?
I'm Lisa, thank you. Our new reservation area is something that we decided to do because we were looking to the data and we noticed that this is the most used area on our application. And when we saw this, we started to think what people is doing exactly here. And we looked into the data and we decided to do some changes, which I think resulted in a very good way. We are receiving good feedback from this again, because we already have some hotels with it. But the interesting thing is that we noticed that there were really specific tasks like checking reservation notes, looking to credit cards, and stuff like that. And what we did is to make sure that all of these applications, all of these tasks are easier to do now. And most of it can be done like in 2 clicks once you are on the reservation area.
Great. And so one thing, because like I mentioned that it looks amazing, but I think it would be cool if you could show us a bit specifically like how this new interface like meets those different operations and makes them easier for the hotel. So would you be able to show myself and everyone watching
Sure,
this in a bit more detail?
that sounds like a good idea. I don't know if you can see my screen now, Melissa.
I can, yeah, well, yeah, I can now.
So here we are. Our old reservation area. I'm already call it old, but it's basically because we have this new super cool interface. And so one of the things that you notice immediately is that now we have here on the left a series of widgets. These widgets, we are committed to give information that matters to our hotels. And besides that, some of these widgets have some call to actions that will help you to do specific tasks. For instance, here you can see the weekday that has most check-ins. So if you click maximize weekdays, you will be taken to our promotions area when you can create promotions per weekday, so you can better optimize your price model for these days. Also, we have the highest reservation on the period. And another very cool feature that we have, it's not something that happens a lot. Here we have 15 PMS failures. This is a test hotel. But imagine that you have one situation like this on your hotel. You can immediately click resend, and here you can see the reservations that failed delivering to the PMS, and you can like select them all or pick up some specific reservations and resend it to the PMS. So this is one example of the information that matters being shown. Like sometimes you wouldn't even notice that you had a reservation failed if you have a big amount of reservations and you don't see it on the first screen. But now we have this widget that will look into all the reservations that are on your current filter and give you this information. Of course, you can always look here to our column that will show you the status of the delivery to the PMS. And another thing that changed on this area, it's that now you can search from different dates. You can search for booking date, but also per check-in date. And if you remember here on the left side, we had a series of filters that were limited to that offer. And now we have dynamic filters that will give you much more options to do search around the reservations. And also one interesting thing about this is that everything that you see on the screen, it's like dynamic. So you will not be offering with data that you cannot filter. For instance, here you will probably don't see all of the rate plans on your hotel if they are not on the current date interval that you are searching. So if I search here a smaller interval, like a few days, we can see that I picked up a date that doesn't have reservations, and so I will pick up another date. And now here we have, you can see there is only one page now. So the number of reservations, it's reduced, and you can see that you don't have as many rate plans as you had on the previous way. Also, if you notice, there isn't available the campaign code filter, because none of these reservations were done using a campaign code. And of course, it happens the same with the channels. It will only show the channels that are available on this context. So I think it's really cool and really flexible. And now we have more options, a better calendar, and also very important, we kind of rebuild the entire backend, so that all of this works really fast. Doesn't matter the amount of reservations that the hotel has. Also, we maintain some filters here so that the hotels can have access to the information in one single click. So these are kind of default filters that you can use, which are really cool. And then, as I told you, there are different tasks that we noticed, and like checking reservations. And this is available on this preview pane that we have, where you can see the details of the reservation, or if you want, you can just check the credit card data. Okay, in this case, it's a payment from the hotel, so no credit card associated on this reservation. We also can select multiple reservations to do operations like marking read and unread, and all of this. So we are very happy with this, because we really look to the screen sizes, to the tasks that the hotels are doing, and we make the possible to simplify as much as we could all of these things.
Cool. I had a question about something you showed a bit earlier. So like when you select specific dates on the calendars, those filters on the top there where it shows the rate plans and so on, it just shows what's applicable for those dates?
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
It's contextual. Like you said, when I filter, you saw when I filtered it, for instance, we didn't have this filter because there were no campaign codes available on the reservations that were selected. This is really important, because if you have lots of rate plans or lots of campaign codes created, you would have big lists that you would have to go through to filter. The same with channels and stuff like that. We have hotels that use 30 or 40 channels. So, but we, instead of showing the entire list, we just show the channels that are available on the context that the hotel is using, because so it makes much simpler just to click it instead of going through lists.
Cool. And have you done any sort of like analysis on like how much faster it is to use this interface in comparison to what we had before?
Yeah, I don't have the numbers, but one thing that we notice is that the performance on this area would depend on the amount of the reservations that we have. And one thing that we have now, because this is has a lots of technical work behind, like with caches and preloads and all of these things, it's really fast no matter the amount of reservations. So the response time will be the same if you have like 100 reservations or if you have 100,000. It will always work. For instance, we are working with 2 pages of reservations, and if I go here and click with all, which basically it's a view without any filter, you can see that quickly we have everything loaded. Now we have 19 pages, and I can quickly jump between pages in a very fast way, which is something that we didn't have on our previous interface. It worked. It wasn't really slow, but for us, we are always trying to improve that on the milliseconds scale, and we want to give a consistent experience for the hotels. And I think that we achieved it with this new approach to caching and to rebuilding the entire backend for this area.
Cool. And then the last question I sort of had for today, and I know you've already touched on this a bit before, but like from an operational perspective, in your opinion, like how would this help the hotels or anyone managing like reservations? What would be like I don't know, 2 or 3 main ways that it would help.
One I already told, it's the consistent experience independently if you are searching a large amount of reservations or a small amount of reservations. I think this it makes a more, how can I say, pleasant experience to using this area. Another, it's the filters. We have much more options now because the filters were like limited to what we understood were the best ways. We kept the most used ones here, so this is all based on the history of application usage, and we picked up this so that you can do it in one single click. But if you want to go crazy and start to conjugate all of these things and also do a text search, you can do it. Our text search is also much better now. It will search through channel reservation numbers, PMS reservation numbers, reservation nodes. All of this data, it's searchable, and it's also something that we added. And the third one, I would say that it's information, because you have information about how well you are doing, how much you are paying for in commissions, for instance, for Booking.com, and also very important, when something goes wrong, you have immediately your information. For instance, currently we have 0 overbookings, which is actually good. But if something went wrong, when you go to this list, you immediately would be informed that there's a problem with one or more of your reservations, and the same with PMS deliveries, which is also something that may cause overbookings. So these are the 2 things, which is performance, flexibility, and information. These are like the 3 pillars that I would highlight on this new reservation area.
Cool. Yeah, and I guess the consolidation of all that information just makes things really efficient as well, which, yeah, that's cool. All right. Well, thank you for your time today. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you, Melissa. Bye-bye. Nice to talk to you.